Hi, this is Khan Nishida from BI Publisher channel. So let's take a look how to create your first BI Publisher report. In BI Publisher, reporting lifecycle goes like this. So start with data model, and then create a report on top of the data model, and then you build a report. It's that simple. So let's take a look, a little more insight of each component. So in the data model, that's where you define what the data source will be. So the data source can be the files or database or some other stuff. But the data source, for example, is database. And then this is where you define and register your SQL queries. Or you can also define your joins and custom functions, the measures, and aggregation type of things. And then once you create the data model, now you can create the report to visualize the data. So you can have the charts and tables and cross tabs, or you can apply the format and design layout type of things. And once you create the report, now you're ready to view the report by interacting with the data, or you generate the reports in all the formats that BI Publisher supports, such as PDF or Excel or PowerPoint or RTF, to achieve your pixel perfect report output requirements. So now let's take a look how to create your first BI Publisher report. So this is the BI Publisher homepage that you will see right after you log in. So now here there's a report job, data model under the create. So you can use this menu to create a data model, right? So before I create a data model, one thing I want to make sure is that I do have a data connection to access to that data. So here there's a database connection under the data source. When I go to the admin UI and then go click that, and then this is a list of the data database connection that I can use. So in this example, I'm going to create just a data connection, and so I'm going to type that order entry, and then here I need to type the database connection information. So I'm going to type something like that. So host name, the port number, and the database SID, and here username and password, and I want to make sure the connection working okay. And I got a message established successfully, so I'm going to click apply. So now that's it. I just created a database connection. So now go back to the home window. And then now I'm going to create start creating data model. So first thing I want to do is make sure I'm going to use the data connection that I just created, so which is order entry. And then I go to the data sets, and then there's a menu, pull-down menu, there's a SQL query. So I'm going to use that SQL query. And as you see, the order entry data connection is already selected. So if I click the query builder, now query builder is going to find order tables under this schema called OE, right? So in this case, I have these tables, and I like to see the orders by the product and what order made by the customers. So in this case, first I want to pull up this order tables, and I'm going to select that data that I like to see. So order date, order mode, order status, order total, and so on. And then there's another table called order items. And then in this case, I'm interested in unit price or quantity, and I can join these two tables by just drag and drop and by using the order ID. And also I like to see product data, so I'm going to just put this another table called products, and then this table I can just use the product ID to join those two tables together. Now I have three tables joined together, and also I'm interested in product name and product description, and other information, for example, warranty, the class, and then the product status types of things. So I can just click and choose, and if I click the results, and the default is 10 rows, and I can select that different row sets, and it looks like the data is okay. So now I'm going to just click the save, and then automatically my SQL query is being developed. And I didn't type anything, but just everything's just automatic here. And then I'm going to name that order status as my dataset's name. Click OK, and then these are the columns that automatically are populated. Looks okay. If I want to, I can just change the column names. But in this example, I'm going to just go with this, and then I click the save button to save it. So here, and I'm going to just type the order status data model, and click the button save. And it's already saved, and I'm going to click this XML icon. This will gives me the XML data that are internally handled by the BI Publisher. So in this way, I can make sure the data is handled correctly and coming back. This is real data coming out from the database. And then before I start creating a report, one thing I need to make sure is to save this as a sample data, and that will save that data as a sample. So like when I'm designing the layout, I don't have to access the database every single time when I make the change. Also, I can create parameters for this data model, or like create a list of values and use that for the parameters. Or like I can use a date, starting date and end date, and that kind of stuff. In this example, I'm going to go with this, and then now ready to the next step, which is to create a report. So if I go here, there's a menu, report under new. So this gives me this window where I need to select the data model I just created. So in this case, order status data model. I select that and I click open. And now I get this UI. Either like I can start using this shared templates that will help me get started by using the predefined template, or I can start with blank. In this example, I'm going to use this a blank template, and then these are the components I can use to visualize the data or design my layout. Right. So first thing I want to do is here, like drop the layout grid and 2 by 2. Which that means I can drop these, for example, the chart, or for example the table in this type of this position. So here let's start with the chart. So now like I like to see the product name, but I want to understand like the order total, like how much product has been sold. So in this case, the x-axis has the product, and then the y-axis has the total dollars. So now, like, if I like its 3D effect, I'm not like 3D effect, or like I can just choose a different chart type. For example, like instead of vertical, like maybe I can choose the horizontal bar chart, and also like I can use a filter to filter the data. In this case, probably like in displaying all the products it would be too much. So I'm going to select that to maybe top 10 products. So I click OK. So now like I have only 10 products, but it's top 10. And then also like I can just drop that columns into this data table. So for example, like I like to see the product name and the product description. And then now I realize that like I don't have much space anymore. So but in this case, what I can do here is I'm going to select that cell, and then I select the 2 cells, and I can join those 2 cells to make the space much bigger. Now like I have much more space, so like I want to add more data here. So for example, like order total, and I realize that like I actually have I like to have the order date before the order total. So in this case here, and then maybe like I like to see like order mode, for example here, something like this. And then now these are the tables, and then like I have another space, maybe like I can just drop another chart here. And in this case now like I like to see that the product name, but for example here, or for example, what I can do is let's say like a order mode. I like to see how the product is being sold. So for example here, and then like if I drop the order total, so now not only the product name, I'm comparing the product name based on the order total, but also I can see like direct online. But this is a little hard to see, so like I'm going to change that like chart type to be something more that stack bar. In this case, I don't have to get so much confused. And the 3D is not really good for this type, so like I'm gonna take with the 3D charts. And again, like this might be the too many products, so like I'm gonna just go here and then just change that to top 10 product here, and click OK. So now like I have the 10 products, top 10 products. So now like I realize that this date is kind of too much, so like I like to set the date format to make it much more visually easy. And also here I know that this is a number data, so like I like to do the formatting. So like in this case, for example, like I select this one to make it number formatting with the decimal 1000 separator. And also at the bottom, like I have the summary table, total row, and then the summation, which is the default, but I think this case is perfect. So what I only thing I want to do is just set that number format. and it looks good. And then for also, like I can just change the column title. So in this case, instead of this order total, this is just obvious. So like I'm gonna just change that to total, or like I can select all the column header and make it, for example, bold. So it's like the same thing like you do with your familiar desktop tool. That is, you can change the column header, you can change the column header name, you can change the width of each column. You can do just by using your mouse. So now it looks good. So like I like to see how that report is looking. So before preview the report, I need to actually save it. So like I go click here and then just type the layout name and I click the save. Now I can preview the report. So this is how that data is going to be displayed in my report, and it looks okay. So now only thing I want to do is I like to add the report title. So like I just insert another row, and here I'm gonna just drop the text item here, and then double click to enter the report title here. So in this case, this is order status report. Also here I can do the formatting. So like I just make it bold and maybe the font size bigger. So in this case, maybe like 15 fonts. And then maybe like I can change that like, font color to be something like red or different color in this case. Red is here. So now like I have this report. So now like I save it and I click the return, and that will brings me to this report UI where I can manage if I have like multiple layouts. In this case I have only one, but I can create multiple layouts and I can manage those, and then each properties and then like things. And then now like I'm okay on this, so like I'm gonna just click view report, and then that will ask me to save this report. So like I'm going to save that to order status report, and looks good, and I click save and then click the view report. So now like I have this report, I have two charts and one table. It's a very simple report and it has the report title as well. So now I can all the data presented in this report are actually connected and linked together. So without you predefine any like scripting or coding or anything, like everything is created. What that means, for example, if I click this particular bar, which is a KB101/ES, that's the product name, and then now this table shows only the data to do with this product name, and the same as well in this chart. So every single data point in the chart and presented, I can click and then to do the filtering that has influence and impact on the different components. So for example, in this case, in this chart, there's the online and direct data. So like if I'm interested in online data, so now this chart represents only the online product, the product sales made with online, and also here I see only the online data. Okay, so now in this table, like I have the 5 columns, and the product name, for example, like if I want to select a particular product, so for example, in this case, the GB124, so like and select all, and I select a particular product, and then now like I get to see only that particular product data, or like I can just go back and select all, and then like I get that all the data back, or like I can do the sorting. So for example, like I like to see that data sorted by the total. And now like all the data has been sorted. Also like I can, so each column automatically has the filtering and sorting. So it's easy to browse the data and then like filter the data to find your answer that you're looking for. Okay, so this is pretty much the basic steps to create your first report with BI Publisher. Thank you for watching. This is Kanishiro from BI Publisher channel.